Well, SEPTA has a new permanent leader heading up the transit agency. Scott Sauer has been serving as interim general manager since late last year. Today, the board voted to make the position permanent. And it comes at a very pivotal time for SEPTA, which faces a $213 million budget deficit. If SEPTA doesn't receive an influx of new funding, the agency says it'll be forced to cut 45% of all SEPTA services and increase fares by more than 21%. The board will vote on that proposal on June 26th. Some of those cuts could be implemented as early as this summer. Dozens of bus routes are set to be eliminated or shortened beginning in late August. NBC 10's Mayk spoke with the new GM today, joins us now for more on his plans. Lauren?
Yeah, Tracy, Scott Sauer is now in charge officially of spots like this, the Broad Street line, the bus system for SEPTA. This is all his official new job. Sauer has worked his way up in SEPTA and even had something in common with his dad.
I would go through the station and toot my horn as I kind of went through the station, and he would wave.
Scott Sauer recounting how he and his father crossed paths. These photos showing them in front of trolleys in different eras. But for a few years, they both worked for SEPTA. When Sauer was a trolley operator, his dad a cashier.
He would have been unbearable today because he was a very proud father no matter what job I was doing. So I'm sure he would be extremely proud today.
Sauer is now SEPTA's general manager, a job that gives him more than just interim responsibility to deal with what customers want from the transit agency they rely on.
Cleaning. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit more. Just cut the prices down. I don't want them to go up.
The job also puts him at the helm as SEPTA tries to avoid raising fares and cutting service as it approaches what it's called a death spiral, facing a budget deficit.
There are some people who might look at this situation right now, though, and say, why would you want this job?
Yeah, our board chairman kind of joked with me about that right before the meeting, said last chance, to walk away.
The board making Sauer's job official today after a nationwide search and interviews with several other candidates. Chairman Ken Lawrence already giving Sauer some credit for cost cutting.
His leadership has resulted in $30 million in savings for the agency, and he's not done yet.
Sauer says even if lawmakers approve Governor Shapiro's proposal for transit funding, SEPTA will come up about $13 million short and is looking at the possibility of some outsourcing.
We have some administrative functions that we're looking at. We have a medical department, for example, that does drug and alcohol testing. They do pre-employment screenings. That's an opportunity that the private sector could help us with. There are organizations that do that kind of work. We have a payroll function. There are organizations that are out there that do payroll.
What SEPTA looks like in a year or so from now likely depends on what happens in Harrisburg.
Are you committing to staying here if things do not go well and those cuts have to come and more cuts have to come? Will you oversee all of that? I
intend to, yes. I intend to be here for the duration of the time that the board will have me. So I will oversee whatever strategy is implemented. If we have to cut, which I hope and pray we do not, but if we have to, then yes, I will be here to oversee that process.
Now, Scott Sauer may have a new job title, but he does not yet have a new contract. That is going to wait until the funding situation with SEPTA becomes a little bit clearer. He is actually working right now under his old salary as Chief Operating Officer. And I'll be back at 5:30 with some new information from Governor Shapiro on his conversations in Harrisburg with lawmakers about this funding situation. Live in South Philadelphia, I'm Lauren Mayk, NBC 10 News.
A lot to figure out as the clock ticks. Lauren, thanks. And we have all the details on the proposed SEPTA changes here on our website and on our free NBC 10 app. You can check out our article laying out the specific rail and bus route cuts, the fare increases, and other potential impacts to your commute.